Hello everyone and welcome back to another DrAce video. Today we're going to be playing MotoGP 24 and we are here in the Red Bull Ring of Austria in the Premier class with Franco Morbidelli. Now, for some reason today I just fancied doing a race, just doing a MotoGP race, not particularly anything in particular special, just a bit of practice for myself because I want to start doing some more guides again soon. I haven't fixed my time trial woes, but I can use the qualifying and the practice sessions so I can still make my guides that way. But to be honest, I just really wanted to have a little bit of a practice race with the Premier Class motorcycles and just have some fun with it. Usually I don't tend to record these sort of races, I'll just have some fun and not really put any pressure on myself to perform. But today I thought, you know what, let's have some fun, let's go for it. Let me show you guys what I tend to do by myself when I'm playing MotoGP 24 without recording. Most of the time it's just sort of have a vision about a rider that could do well at a certain track. Maybe they've got history at that track, maybe they've had a bad history at that track, and maybe this is a chance for us to sort of right the metaphorical wrongs with that rider at a specific track. We did it not long ago with Taka Nakagami, but for that video that was more of a purpose for the video itself. I actually already did a practice session with that one a couple of days before that video and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But today, this is the thought process, the idea about chucking on a race and just having some fun with it. And sometimes it's how I come up with video ideas. It's kind of a different video here today. I just wanted to sort of just chill out and take a different approach towards the video making today and just explain to you basically how things come together. So if you will, this is my practice session without really stressing or trying to do something really good for the viewers. Today it's just me having fun with it and just seeing what can be done. So already I've noticed that I'm not really racing that aggressively. I just want to take my time with it and get the feeling of the bike. I've been doing a lot of Moto3 videos lately, so I'm feeling a bit nervous upon the bike here. We're getting the wheelie right with the Prima Pram at Ducati as well. It's not ideal, but I love the Red Bull Ring of Austria. I noticed on the updates last time they said the qualifying times have been improved, so they're a little bit more difficult to beat. And so far it looks to be that way because we're 1.5 seconds away from Raul Fernandez. So this is an interesting tactic right now. And of course Ducati always go well here at the Red Bull Ring, so maybe this is a good opportunity to fantasize that Franco Morbidelli may have a good weekend here when we get to that point in the season, this year. I said season twice, it's not very good. But yeah, basically just the feeling of the bike is not too bad. I'm getting used to it again, but I'm having a great time just messing around. I didn't do any practice sessions, I just jumped straight into the qualifying because I think that's a typical Frankie Morbidelli thing, to qualify or to practice not so well, start from Q1 and possibly fight to get into the opportunity of getting into Q2. But alternatively, if we don't get through to Q2, I'm not going to lose my any motivation or confidence because I tend to start a lot of my videos now towards the latter stages of the grid because it's just more interesting that way. It's more fun. I find that AI is so strong in qualifying but not so much in the Grand Prix themselves. So I'm very keen to see what is going to happen in this video today. We're on a decent sector time here, so there's definitely an opportunity for us to improve and hopefully we can get onto the cusp of getting into qualifying too. As long as we get second, that's good enough for me. So we don't necessarily have to beat Alex Marquez, just try and get past on Miguel Oliveira to claim that position for qualifying 2 bound. Onto the brakes then. Bike is beginning to feel a little bit better each and every single lap. Into the Schloss Gold. Still running the soft option tyres here. I think that is generally the best combination you can use, no matter if it's race situation, practice or qualifying. The softs just feel significantly better in this game, and I don't just mean that for the terms of lap times or outright pace. They just seem to have more grip as well than the medium tyres. Oh, too tight to the apex there. That's going to cost me time, isn't it? 0.4 of a second. 0.3. Oh, we were up by quite a bit there, but they seem to be very fast into the third split, so that could certainly cost us time when we're trying to push to get into Q2. So into the right hand side here. I don't even know if I'm going to get enough time here because I'll go back into the pits. I might not have enough time to get out and do a lap. So across the line it is a 1:28.086. Okay, so good news, I was straight into the pits and straight out. I think I might have enough time. 1:28 lap time, 1:40 on the clock. Yeah, I should be okay to hopefully get another lap in. Now, I'm still yet to get into the 127s, and they're going into the echelon of the lower part of 127, so that's a bit concerning. But I think I can still get it done. I think I can still qualifying into Q2 here. So on to the Niki Lauda curve. We are gaining a 1/10 and a half, almost 2/10 of a second into the first split. This is game on for Q2. And then we'll have the big race straight after. Beautiful tight apex there for turn 3. Must be careful of not abusing the track limits there. And we've bound 4/10 of a second into the first sector. Absolutely marvellous, but this is the difficult point. Keeping the front wheel down of the Prima Prama Ducati. Doesn't matter what motorcycle you use here at this track, that is such a tough straight to keep the front end of the bike down. Gained a bit of time there into the Schlossgold. Delta is still in our favour, but we've lost all that advantage that gave us the promise of getting into Q2. One of the Yamaha's gone down, that's Alex Rins. Where did he go? Hopefully not into sector 3 or 4, because that is going to scupper our chances of finishing higher than 15th. We are finding time, but I don't think that's going to be enough to catch up to Alex Marquez. Might be enough to catch up to Raul. We're on to the brakes there, a little bit late to the Rint corner. That might have just ruined our chances. We possibly could be starting from as low as 13th place. Onto the power then, bit of a wheelie. Across the line, what's it going to be? 1:27.869, good enough for 15th on the grid. In fact, it's an identical time there to Adrian Fernandez, but we still have one more lap to go. 2/10 of a second is already down in this first split. I've got traffic ahead of me. We ran it deep there. Is that it? 3/10, 4/10. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Only down by 33,000 of a second. Okay, now it's definitely not going to work. Never mind, eh? So qualifying didn't go quite as planned, but it looks like we start from 14th because we finished ahead of Adrian Fernandez in our second. Oh my god, I've just absolutely span up the rear. I'm dropped down to 18th, dropped down to 21st now. We might as well have just started from the back of the grid, haven't we? We're with the Hondas as Maverick Vinales has gone down. Oh, that's a horrible spot to crash. How is there not a red flag? Oh man. The late of the brakes then, look at us squeezing through on multiple riders. Bit of contact there with, whoa, what did I get a warning for? What did we get a warning for? Was that? Okay, I'm a bit confused there, but we got a warning for something as we try and go around the outside of Alex Marquez. Did it come up saying we were involved in an incident? Is it because I spanned the rear up and Luca Marini hit me from behind? Is that what it was? I'm not entirely sure. But we are up to 19th, so that's a 5 position gain. Not bad. Marc Marquez leading the way as well here in the Red Bull Ring of Austria. Could that happen this year? It's certainly got all the making from it, because of course it's very much a Ducati circuit. Ducatis always do well round here, and it'd be fitting for Marquez to win around this circuit. I think he'll win before then, probably in the Saxon Ring. Or maybe even Assen when we return. All that momentum and motivation after signing with the factory Ducati team. Maybe he's going to join the winning circle on board the GP23. So on to the right hand side. Then this is the Rint corner. So far, a relatively typical Frankie Morbidelli weekend, if I say so myself. Qualified okay. Now gaining positions in the race. So I'm hoping we can go for a top 5 here. And that's basically what I was trying to say earlier on with the video idea. Wow, I closed in really rapidly there in Alex Marquez. Well, this is what I was basically saying earlier on from the video idea and how my mind works for videos, is that I probably wouldn't even be trying to go for a decent position if I wasn't recording. I wouldn't mind sitting in like 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever, but I don't think it makes for a good video as we go late on the brakes there, through on Aleix Espargaro, bit deep on the brakes, so it was a bit of a smart decision not to get in the way of Aleix as a matter of fact, but as we now fight back against the soon-to-be former MotoGP rider, late as the brakes as we can we go around the outside of Aleix? Not quite. But yeah, you'll see that I've not got the pressure on me here today. I just want to race and have fun with it. Like usually when I do those videos where I just chat and talk about things, I'm not really stressing about trying to get a victory like I would be in my career mode, for example. Just want to have fun with it, and as long as you guys enjoy the video, you enjoy listening to my commentary, then it should be a good video. And maybe I should start including more of my little practice sessions and little qualifying moments I have, because sometimes I might just fancy Let me use Marc Marquez and let me try and qualify in Q2. Let me take Pedro Acosta and let me start from the back of the grid, for example. Things like that. It's just how I tend to really want to do things within the MotoGP 24 game. And in fact, that extends to pretty much all of them as we cross the line. A 1:28.3, so we're actually only 0.3 of a second slower than Pecco Bagnaia at the stage of Grand Prix. Now bear in mind, we did overtake Alex Marquez and we tried to make a lunge on the rider ahead of us, so that's not bad going for now. Qualifying time is significantly different to what it is now. Earlier on it was a 1:27.3 for Q2. Now we're looking at 1:28 for race pace, so this is very interesting and it works well in our favour as we go for another lunge on Aleix Espargaro. That was a slightly aggressive Frankie Morbidelli move, but we have seen an aggressive Frankie in the past. We now go on to the brakes to the right-hander. This is the Slosgold. And we are pulling in time here. This could be a lap time, potentially quicker than your double MotoGP world champion, the 3 times champion in total, Pecco Bagnaia. Now, none of the rides ahead of us are really disappearing away from us. Raul Fernandez having a cracking race there in 5th place. I must definitely do a video with Raul. He was excellent in Catalonia. Damn shame he crashed out as well into the Caixa corner. Would have been an absolutely brilliant result, that, for the young Spaniard. We're now on the brakes. I am feeling a bit more confident now around this circuit. This should put us into the 1:27s. Bit of a wheelie there coming out of the right-hander. Now into the Red Bull Mobile corner. We go on to the power. It's difficult to turn when you use the ride-out device. I'm wondering if that's the best option to use when going into the final corner. I'll have a test maybe for the future. We've run it deep here to the Niki Lauda curve. Mistake occurring on lap number 3. So I'm not completely confident yet here around this circuit. Well, look at that late braking manoeuvre. Round the outside of Aleix Espargaro. Back up on the top 7. I'm just wondering if Aleix is going to get past me here. Gap was very close as we got onto the power of turn 2B. But it was not to be for Aleix Espargaro to get through, apparently. So on the power then. And now onto the left-hand side. Can we close back into to Pedro Acosta then? Because I'm actually a little bit disappointed I made that mistake now, because all that strong effort of those few laps would have put us in a good spot to pick up additional slipstream for the man on board the GasGas RC16. Bezzecchi's in there as well, so this is a bit of a dream scenario right now for MotoGP fans. Pecco, Marquez, Bastianini. Where is Jorge Martin? Oh, track limit warning there. That's a bit of a... That's a slap on the wrist, isn't it? Ooh, did I just abuse limits again there? Careful. Take it easy. I actually don't know where Jorge Martin is, because it's not in 4th, because that's Bez. We must have passed him already. Maybe he got caught up with the Maverick Vinales shenanigan. He's definitely a rider you would think that would lead by a country mile around this circuit, especially after already winning a Grand Prix here in Styria. Beautifully tight to the apex there. It's a bit scary that when you get on the curb. Kind of feels like you've gone too far, but we're alright. Onto the brakes, keep it in tight. Yeah, this is materialising to be quite the Frankie Morbidelli race, isn't it? Fastest lap time on some points, right up there fighting with decent lap times, but because of the poor qualifying or the mistakes in the race, he's not well up there. Of course, he did well in Mugello, did alright in a couple of rounds this season, to be honest. Even Catalonia looked okay. I don't doubt that Frankie could be on the podium this season at some point. I know some people are probably thinking, what? But honestly, I still think Frankie Morbidelli's got a lot left in the tank, and I think with the confidence of a team that believes in him, a Ducati as amazing as the GP24, there's no doubt that Frankie can do well. Just give him time, get him that confidence again. He's happy, he's smiling a lot more often than he used to be. As long as those mistakes don't keep cropping in, I don't doubt that he'll be right up there. We've seen Marquez crash, we've seen Martin crash, we've seen Bastianini crash, and we've seen Pecco Bagnaia crash as well, so the right circumstance, the right moment, Frankie will be on the podium this season. I would like to think so, at least. That was the inspiration for me today, just to try and get Frankie on the podium. Across the line, that's another lap time improvement, back into the 1:27s. A better lap time than our qualifying, as a matter of fact, or at least very close to. It might have been a 1:27.768. Either or, it was very close. And in fact, Maverick Vinales, who got took out, or at least crashed into turn 1, and then got his bike battered by numerous riders, is still circulating on the circuit somewhere. That's incredibly impressive from the for the Spaniard. A bit late there on the brakes, really. Whew, steady on. Getting a little bit loose there going onto the brakes into turn 3, or turn 4 as it is in this game. And then onto the brakes. We are closing back in on the future of MotoGP, let's be honest. Pedro Acosta has adapted to that KTM probably as good as everyone thought he would. I'll be honest, I thought it'd take him a little bit longer. And yet there he was already in the first race fighting with the likes of Marquez and all the other riders as well. Unbelievable talent is Pedro Acosta. I will confess I really wanted Dennis Foggia to win the other year, so I wasn't the biggest Pedro Acosta fan. But since Dennis Foggia is no longer fighting with Acosta, I think I can safely say that Acosta is one hell of a rider. And he's deserved every championship he's had this career so far. We are closing in. Still using that ride-out device. It feels like the right thing to do coming out the final corner. Across the line at 1:27.5. Faster than the qualifying. This is late on the brakes here. Again, just getting suckered in on the brakes there. It feels like I'm getting sucked in by the slipstream, but to be honest, I think I could just be braking a bit too late. Little bit of a lax of concentration here. Little bit of a lunge here onto the left-hand side of Pedro. That is an aggressive move on Pedro. I don't think he's going to be happy with that at all as we go on the brakes. Marco Bezzecchi now in the podium positions. 3rd place for the multiple MotoGP winner. Good to see Bez back up at the front. Do really like Marco Bezzecchi, one of the best characters in MotoGP. The likes of your Marquez's, your Marco Bezzecchi's, brilliant characters, really funny rider. Same as Pedro Acosta as well, and Jack Miller. Really good fans. You've got to be fans of those sort of people. It keeps you engaged and excited when you see them. I love those kind of stars in MotoGP. Of course, now we have the likes of Jorge Martin, who's quite boisterous. Oh, it's steady on. Bit eager on the power there, my apologies. But the likes of Pecco Bagnaia, Jorge Martin, they're very confident, very strong riders, but aren't quite as open or excitable as some of the other riders. I think there's nothing wrong with them, they just have a different personality. But I do really like Martin and Pecco Bagnaia. I mean, they're both quite... oh my goodness, here we go. Pedro Acosta, is he going to deny us for 6th place? Not possible. Certainly thought about it though. Raul Fernandez occupying that position I want next. Can we catch up to the number 25? Closing in all the time. And I tell you what, that group at the front are locked in for a battle here. If we can make short work of Raul, I don't doubt that we can't get back up there and fight with them. I'm really trying to get the wheelie to stop happening there onto the straight. I'm even trying pushing forwards in the analog stick, going less aggressive on the acceleration. Nothing seems to stop the bike from wheeling into onto that straight, onto the run to Schlossgold. Now onto the left-hander. We're going to make mincemeat here of Raul Fernandez. There's nothing he can do. Marquez has just taken the lead. The billions of Marquez fans rejoice because he's through. Pecco's been pushed wide. Bez looks like he's got to go through on the front as well. Beautiful effort at the front of this Grand Prix, but this is exactly what we needed. Come on, let's get past and let's get up there fighting with them. Can Frankie win? Well, maybe a win's a bit a bit optimistic, but can we get on the podium after all this effort, all this pushing and determination? I don't doubt we can. Cross the line, another 27. Can we get through on Raul? We certainly can. Late on the brakes, right down easy boot, kissing the tarmac, and we're through as Taka and Luca have collided somewhere on the circuit. On the brakes then, rapidly closing in to Enea Bastianini. Pecco Bagnaia, track limit warnings, but look how much closer he is now to Marc Marquez. Still not able to get through. Look at our rear tyre skipping. Our rear tyre is skipping there. Lost complete traction then on the brakes. These little mistakes coming in. This is how you know I'm not particularly confident or well up to speed yet to be fighting some of the best riders in MotoGP. Raul's got the inside line. That puts me in a difficult situation. And now that gap that we had coming down has gone back up to 3 seconds. Nothing really separating these four rides at the front. Bez has a look behind him to say, is that Franco Morbidelli? It is. Maybe he's just checking to see if it's Jorge Martin, who hasn't come through the order yet. So he must have had an absolute shocker of a start when he made collision with Maverick Vinales' bike. Now onto the right-hand side, keep it in tight to the apex, onto the power. Gap's come down to 2.8, so there's every chance here, you know. There is absolutely every chance. Plenty of lap time still to go in this one as well. We're on lap 9, not even halfway through this Grand Prix yet. I certainly hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, don't forget to like and subscribe. But if you're not, you've probably already gone, so I'm talking to no one. But onto the brakes. Again into 2A, then into 2B. Don't cut the corner, did I just do it? Oh! Don't put your hand in the fire because it's hot. Oh, let me try it. Let me see if it's actually hot. Track limit warning. Damn it. Beginning to wonder if traction control 2 would have been better for me around this circuit. With you being in the low gears and being really aggressive on the throttle to get out of the corners. I feel like I'm spinning up the rear tyre, but the soft option, you know, at this stage of the Grand Prix, approaching half race distance, those soft option tyres look fantastic. Marquez has pulled a small gap here. Marc Marquez, he's probably pulled around 0.6 of a second there on Pecco Bagnaia. Is Pecco just waiting, biding his time, keeping the front temperature down? I don't think it really happens in the game, but for the sake of commentary, it's kind of cool to add. Bezzecchi occupying third, Bastianini still in fourth. All pointing to him to go to a Tech 3 KTM team next season, apparently. That'd be a damn shame. I would really like to see Nea stay on the Ducati, to be honest. I think there's unfinished business with the Bologna Bullet, but we'll soon see how he gets on with an Austrian-made motorcycle. Now, to my knowledge, I think he might have had a KTM in Moto 3 once upon a time. I know he used a Honda quite a bit, but I don't recall the top of my head. Well, maybe I'll have to have a think about that for later. Move to sidetrack with the action that is unfolding, and I am really closing in here on the beast. If we get through the one of them, then there's no reason we can't then get through in the other two. Catching up to Marquez will be the difficult challenge, and of course that is going to certainly offer quite the prospect. Opened up a gap there because I went wide. Going to say open up the eyes of us if we can catch up to Marquez, but at this stage I don't think we can. We're still fast though. We're still definitely circulating at a good pace. There was a point where Aleix Espargaro was trying to come with me here, and he set a 1:27.4, 0.2 of a second quick, 1/10 of a second quicker than our fast lap time, as I made a silly mistake again. That's going to be 10 more laps to avoid track limit warning. That's tough around a circuit like the Red Bull Ring of Austria. Beautiful tight apex there for the Rindt corner. You've got to be brave to go tight to the apex there, because if you even touch the corner, the rumble strip, any part of that corner, you're crashing. Simple as. This is going to be a new best lap for me. A 1:27.471, 19,000 of a second slower than El Capitan, Aleix Espargaro, the man in 8th place. We might be able to set the fast lap of the race here. Oh, this is really late on the brakes here. Look how much we closed in on Enea Bastianini then. We had a lot of speed and momentum then going into 2A. Now on the brakes, rear tyre skipping across the tarmac. A lunge on Enea Bastianini to take over 4th place. This is Franco Morbidelli from old. This is the best version of Frankie we've seen this season. Shame it's come from virtual form, but hey ho, action is on for the aces. Can we get through now on Bez, tackle Bagnaia, and hopefully catch up to Marc Marquez? Gap's down to 2 seconds. We pulled a second on the 8 times world champion. Yes! Come on, Frankie. Bit wide there for the Worth curve, but don't worry about it because we'll get on the power with the slipstream, and hopefully that'll bring us really close now to Marco Bezzecchi. We could have a new fastest lap here in a moment. Onto the power. Lost a bit of time there. Not quite as clean as we were on the previous exchange of laps, but this one, it's game on. Applying the ride-out device a little bit later was helpful. Another low 127. Alex Marquez slapped on the wrist. Tight to the apex then. Here we go. This is game on lap 13. We could be getting into the podium positions from 14th on the grid. Doing the Marquez. Here we go then. Oh, Bez is having to think of lunge on Bagnaia, isn't he? But I think after Bez has made that mistake, I can go through here. Late on the brakes. Let me squeeze on through, Bez. Excuse me, coming through. No, that's the front! Oh, no! Oh, I did that exact same manoeuvre earlier. Oh, I can't believe that. Why was Bastianini putting that under investigation? Oh, no! I can't believe it. Oh, and Bez has gone down. Where's he crashed? He's crashed here into the Sloss Gold. And I got a long lap penalty for it. This is the typical Frankie Morbidelli race. Oh, can you believe it? Why? I mean, yeah, there was contact, but it didn't deserve a long lap penalty. I came up the worst. Christ almighty, that is infuriating. From a podium position to fighting for 10th with a long lap penalty to boot. Oh, for God's sake. Well, I'm not, oh, should I go for it now? Yeah, go on then. Let's get it done. Oh my God, am I going to run it too deep? No, I'm all right. Now, the corner here is really difficult to turn. Yeah, it's still the same. It's really difficult to turn there. Ah, God damn it. I can't believe I fumbled it. Marco Bezzecchi out. He'll have somewhere. Just track limit warning again. Oh, this has not gone to plan, ladies and gentlemen. Heck to a handbasket here on lap 13. Oh, what have I done? Mistakes have been made, ladies and gentlemen. Mistakes have been made. 5 seconds off the lap here. The crash a moment ago cost us 4 seconds ago. 4 seconds. We've now got a 5-second drop off in this lap. The gap to Marquez is now almost 11 seconds. The gap to Binder is 4.5 seconds. We lost a huge amount for getting a long lap penalty here in the Red Bull Ring of Austria. I know how difficult that corner is to get right in that long lap penalty. When you turn left, it's like how Lakaisha is, it's like how Tour VIP is in Portimao. You can't turn the bike, it just won't let you. Oh, it's always the left hand side, isn't it? Never lets you turn in properly. 132, 289. Absolutely shocking. Well, what could have been, ladies and gentlemen, what could have been? What I can say though is I'm pleased with how we really set some good lap times there. I think I was a bit eager on the accelerator, a bit eager on the overtake going into turn 3. It's not an easy corner to get right. Made it stick on Bastianini, I made it stick on a few of the others as well, so I had that confidence. Didn't feel it was always, it wasn't that egregious, it was ambitious, but it wasn't that egregious. I didn't think it deserved a penalty, I can tell you that for free. But that was a disappointing end to our charge for the podium. Now we just try and finish in the top 10, but with a gap of 4 seconds, we were qualifying, we were doing quite good laps earlier on. Let me try and work this out now. 0.3 of a second lost on this lap. Gap to Binder is 4.5 seconds. I think the gap to Miller was 2 seconds, so I think we've actually lost time, to be honest. The AI might be getting quicker. We might not be able to fight for a top 10 unless something goes wrong at the front. I'd rather it didn't, to be honest. Because, I mean, I don't ever want someone that's... Oh my goodness, Miguel Oliveira's crashed. But I don't ever want someone just to crash so I can benefit from it. I'm not really that kind of person. I'd rather be working extra hard to catch up to them. But Oliveira is actually out now, so bad Grand Prix for him. For the man who I think he's won before, in fact, hasn't he? Yeah, of course he has. With the Tech 3 KTM back in the day. The was it the Red Bull Cola something one? I've actually tried that drink. It wasn't particularly nice. I was really keen to try it because of that livery. I know Marco Bezzecchi had the same livery in Moto 2. And yeah, it was a little bit disappointing actually, a Red Bull's Cola. I think cola is one of those things that you just have to have Coca-Cola or Pepsi. The rest of them just don't taste all that great. But I did see one on Instagram recently, which I was thinking of trying. I think it was a green cola, which I'll try at some point. But anyway, yeah, random topic about cola popping in at this stage of the Grand Prix. Aleix Espargaro's gone down now as well, so he's kicking up dust from the Schlossgold. Another victim into turn 5. We're now into the left-hand side. Just realised we can get the top 10. It might not be to get through on Brad Binder and the rest of them, but we can certainly get through on Aleix, and that gives Franco Morbidelli 6 points. Not all that bad. Oh, Jorge Martin, he's finally there on the screen. That's where he's been all this race, down in 13th. That's not happening in a real MotoGP race. Can you imagine now if this is the prediction for Red Bull Ring of Austria this season? Exactly what happened in this virtual form is how it goes down in the real life. That'd be bonkers. It really would. So into turn 1 then. Not going to be able to close in Aleix here, but I think I've passed Aleix like 3 times this race just because I got past him, I made a mistake. I got past him again, made another mistake, and I got past him, of course, and made a mistake. So that's probably 4th or 5th time of exchanging... Oh, again, track limit warning. I did mention in the qualifying that it's incredibly easy to do that. And there's that mistake again. Tight to the apex once more for the Remus corner. Gap has come down to a whopping 4 seconds to Brad Binder. Ladies and gentlemen, excite yourself because we've taken a 10th or 2 from Brad Binder. We need a miracle now to catch up to them. Quartararo having a pretty good race there in 8th place as well. Do need to do a video with Fabio Quartararo. There was a request not so long ago. I think it was just after the... Was it the Marquez or Martin video potentially? I do recall getting a request to do a video with... Oh my god, look at the state of me right now. That's all because I touched the apex a moment ago. We got caught on the curve there. The bike straightened up and I was positioned in a terrible spot for the Worth curve. That's awful. Terrible. But yeah, we do need to have a look at Fabio Quartararo video in the near future. Got some helmet videos to show you as well from made by Sergio23. He's made me a new helmet for me to use, which is Red Bull sponsored. And then of course Cal Crutchlow, ready for when he does do his appearance this season as a test rider in the Premier class. 4.2 is the gap to Binder. We had a good lap time brewing then as well, which is a damn shame. We were 4 tenths of a second quicker than our previous best. But I made that mistake into the left-hander at the top of the hill, and then I could not get back the advantage. 4 seconds is the gap, but look how many riders there are bunching together here on lap 18. I do apologise for not being able to scrap with them. But, you know, just crashing like that is never ideal, but it shows you that I'm not perfect. I do crash and I do make mistakes. And with me jumping on the Premier Class bikes for the first time in quite a while, or more so for a proper race situation where I'm really pushing, it's probably been a couple of days, couple of videos ago, I would say. Well, here we are then. Out of the left-hander, down the hill for the Rorsch corner and now into the Worth curve. We are pulling in some decent tenths here. This could be the new fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap 18 of 21 with the soft option rear tyres. Oh, someone else is down. Who's that? Oh, it's the other VR46 Pertamina Enduro Team rider. It's Fabio Di Gianantonio. He's gone down. Oh, I lost all that time as well, but across the line, it is a new personal best for me. 2 laps in a row of a 1:27.4. Good, strong lap times. 8 tenths of a second taken away from Binder. That could be the result of the Di Gianantonio crash, or it could just be the result of some hard-hitting lap times from Franco Morbidelli. Tight to the apex for 2A. Tight again for 2B without cutting the apex. That lead, or gap to 8th, has come down to 3 seconds. Judging by the map in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, it looks like Marquez is going to win this one. Bastianini's in second now, so he's made short work of Bagnaia. Don't think he can catch up to Marquez though. I think he's too superior at this stage of the Grand Prix to let it go now. Really late on the brakes there. Ooh, on the curb as well. 3 tenths of a second lost on this lap time, but I tell you what, it is coming down to Binder. 2.5 is the gap now. We're going to need at least a second per lap to catch up to him. But if they're dropping into the mid-28s, there's still every chance we can catch up to them. We are really pushing this bike now. Now, I'm wondering as well that I thought Franco Morbidelli had green Dainese boots. I think he changed them possibly for Magello. I'd like to see that reflected in an update in the near future. I do like the green boots from Frankie. Not many riders have green, do they? But I like it when Frankie does it. Looks cool. Another good lap time though. That's now 4 laps in a row that have deviated no more than about 0.2 of a second. Very solid lap times coming in here now that we have clear track. We could have been into Q2 if this was in qualifying. We're really fast into 2A and 2B. Even without cutting the apex, we really claw down the gap. And the advantage to Binder is... Oh, that's too late. That's way too late. I blew it. I've absolutely blew it. Oh, wow. You can't ride this like a Moto 3 machine. You really can't. Well, I enjoyed really pushing to try and catch up to Binder there, but that small error, it cost us around a couple of tenths of a second. I already lost a few tenths, so only lost around 3 or 4 tenths, but that has cost us our opportunity of catching up to any of the riders in the top 8. But I've got to say, I'm not disappointed with that, because a 9th place after a crash, a long lap penalty, some very strong lap times coming in towards the latter stage of this video as well. I'm happy with the video. I think I've enjoyed this. I really have. And as I said before, this wasn't really intending to be one of the best videos I've ever made. I just wanted to show you some practice and how I tend to just go for a couple of races here and there, just have some fun. There was no real particular target here today. Just wanted to try and get a good result for Franco Morbidelli. And top 10 after crash long lap penalty. I think Frankie would take that. Not all that bad after all. So here it is then. This is the final lap of today's Red Bull Ring Grand Prix here in the Austrian GP. Marquez is looking to be a shoe-in for the victory. Bastianini has got second, and Bagnaia will probably finish up on the lonely 3rd place. We're still not giving up yet. Gap is coming down. Maybe if I hadn't made that mistake earlier. Is that Pedro Acosta who's leading this run? So if I'm not mistaken, that's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th all fighting for 4th place. I think it is, isn't it? Oh, I messed it up again. Oh, Alex Marquez has gone down. We did get the top 8 after all. I got distracted. I was too busy trying to work out who it was who's leading that pack. It is, isn't it? It's Pedro Acosta 4th, Raul 5th, Quartararo 6th, Binder 7th and Morbidelli 8th. It is a typical Morbidelli race after all. Finishing in 8th place after all of that makes sense to me. Marquez, one more quarter to go before his first victory in 2 years, and of course on board the Ducati GP23. Marquez wins, he gets across the line to secure the victory. Bastianini in 2nd, Bagnaia 3rd, Pedro Acosta looks to just take the advantage ahead of Raul Fernandez, Quartararo, Binder, and then me with Morbidelli in 8th place. Can't be too mad at the results here today. So there you are then guys, confirmation on your screens right now. As you see, the AI on the hardest difficulty here is quite competitive, so I'm quite pleased with the results of today's video. But guys, if you want to see more videos like this where I just pick a ride and just have fun, let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a suggestion and I'll try and get round to it when I can. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.